Hello, and welcome to the class of 2023 parent presentation. I am Chelsea Rose,
And I am Megan Brenner.
and we're going to talk you through our presentation that took place on Tuesday, November
12th.
at 6:30 p.m. So here's a few topics that we're going to be covering in our presentation. We'll talk with you a little bit about what our goals and plans are with your working with your students, and hopefully answer some questions you might have about how to help your child through ninth grade. Here's our contact information for Mrs. Brenner as well as myself. We're divided in half with the alphabet. We both utilize a program called Calendly, which offers the opportunity for students and you as a parent to make an appointment directly with us. So once you go to calendly.com/whoever you'd like to meet with, as the link is listed there, it will give you a screenshot of what our availability is, and you're welcome to make that appointment on your own. So our plan for this year, meeting with students, we will be meeting with your students 4 times at least this year. First quarter, second quarter, and fourth quarter, we'll be doing small group meetings with about 3 to 5 students in our office, where we'll be going through different topics that you see listed here. Just this week, we have started our second quarter meeting, so your students are starting to get exposed to that exam preparation and things that they should expect as semester exams approach. Third quarter will be a little bit different, as we will be having individual meetings with your students, discussing their schedules for 10th grade, reviewing graduation requirements and such. How we can help your students. Sometimes one of our first topics that we covered in our first quarter meetings was telling students a little bit about what we do as school counselors, because maybe they've come from a school that didn't have a school counselor, or maybe they've never talked to one before. So we just like to give them an overview of what the things are that we do. So first and foremost, we are here to support your students' educational needs. So any academic needs with their classes, teachers, that kind of thing, any career goals and creating that plan for the future. We help them collaborate with you, teachers, administrators, any outside resources and individuals that might be involved with your student. Truly focused on the school context and getting through the school day. So if your student is struggling with anything emotionally that they need support for, we can provide some brief solution focused counseling, but we are not therapists. We are not trained for actual mental health therapy. So we do a referral for that if necessary, but we are here to support your student if they're just having a rough day or trying to work through something. Lastly, if you are not aware of our district initiative to help support students' mental health, we have a very strong focus on student wellness, both from the school counseling perspective and a district perspective. And we want that parent and school partnership to be as strong as possible. So we now have school-based therapists in every building in our district. Here at the high school, her name is Laura Cabanari, and she is a Cincinnati Children's employee who is housed here in our building. So we do offer the opportunity to make referrals to her if we feel that that is the best case that is needed for supporting students. Also, we have a student group who has helped start up the Speak Up Aves initiative. If you haven't seen our hashtag Speak Up Aves, helping to break down that stigma and build mental health awareness within our district. Here's some 5 tips to help your teens cope with stress. We talk to them about this in our office, making sure they are always getting sleep, focusing on their strengths and what they're really great at, having that time in their day to do things that make them happy, doing some sort of physical activity always helps alleviate some of that stress, and having somebody to talk to, which again is why we clarify what our role is here in the building to have that safe place to talk. Helping your student get the right start. Here are the 10 most common warning signs, and we talk about this with our students as well in that first quarter meeting, just what to look for if they are concerned about themselves or a friend. We also share with them a crisis card that is available to every student in the building. That's just resources and phone numbers and things that they can call if they or somebody that they know are struggling. What can you do as a parent if you are concerned about your child or another child? You can reach out to Family Doctor. They can be a great resource for helping you discern what level of concern you should have and making referrals to different supports. You can reach out to the school counselor if it's something that's school related and You really see it impacting them here at school, and you're also welcome to find a mental health specialist. Our school-based therapist may be the best option, but may not be, and so we provided that resource for you to kind of look through and gauge what the best case scenario for your child, if that's a route that you need to go. Students can access us anytime during the day. Our offices are open to them. They can stop by before and after school, during their aviator bell or lunch. If they have a study hall, they can also get a pass from their class during school, and then they can also send us an email, or they can go ahead and make that Calendly appointment on their own if they know they need to see us. So this is a screenshot of what that Calendly link looks like. Once you get there, you click on the date, the time that you'd like to meet, and then enter your details. And also sometimes we have a question if you'd like your student to be a part of that meeting, just indicate that for us so we can send them a pass and get them out of class.
So talking about academics, this is one of the big things that we talk to students about first quarter, but we're also hitting again during the second quarter meetings that are starting up this week. So we're making sure that students know how their final grade is calculated, their final semester grade for each class. So each of the quarter grades, so quarter 1 and quarter 2, are 40% of that final semester grade, and the exam is 20% of their final semester grade. And there is a handout that we'll attach on our online website, and that was handed out in the presentation on Tuesday, that gives some samples of how those semester grades can be calculated so that students can see that and make some educated decisions on what they actually need to do for the remaining of second quarter in order to get their grade to where they want it to be before the exam even hits. So GPA and weighted courses. So we want to make sure that you as families know how grades are calculated and answer any questions. So we have our typical grading scale. Those on the far left, you'll see an A is worth 4 points, a B is 3, a C is 2, and a D is 1 point. Our accelerated classes have an additional 0.5 added to the weight to indicate that additional rigor, and then our AP classes have an additional 1.0 added to their weight. Our course planner, which is online on our scheduling and courses tab on the high school website, also has additional information and a sample calculation to show you how all of that works. So this is what a high school transcript would look like. This is a sample. The student's information at the top. It will then display each of their grades from their time in high school. It will include any junior high courses that were taken for high school credit, such as languages, some of the math classes, foundations of art, and so forth. On the far right, you can see what the student's GPA is and total credits earned. So, and then for this sample transcript, which would be a current senior, it also includes the courses that are in progress. It just doesn't include any grades since those semester grades have not been posted yet. So what we're telling students when we go over this with them is that the only grade that shows up on their transcript is that final semester grade. So one of the other big things that we're talking to students about is the importance of success and the work that goes into seeing that success in the end. It's not just about the grades in the end. It's also about that hard work, that dedication, not giving up. We see a lot of ninth graders who are maybe struggling for the first time, coming to the high school and figuring things out. Maybe it's come easy to them before now, and they really have to dig in and figure out what works for them to find that success. And we want students to know that just because they see their friends' grades, for example, doesn't mean that they don't, they're not able to see what else their friends are doing to put in the work to get those positive grades. So we're making sure that we talk to students about everything that goes into finding that success in classes, in grades, in athletics, and extracurriculars, all of that stuff. One of the big things we're talking about this quarter is also those solid, good study habits. We want students to know that struggle is a part of learning. It's okay if their classes are difficult. Our hope is that they will reach out to a teacher when they are struggling. That really should be the first step, is to find out what their teacher has to say. What's the teacher seeing in class? What perhaps is the student missing? If a student hasn't done so well on a recent test, we encourage them to go see that teacher and review it. All of those kinds of things so that they can figure out where their areas are that they're struggling and how to improve. So what to adjust and to use those available academic supports, which we'll talk about in a minute. So the basic study habits we are talking to students about this month are, to make sure that they're planning ahead, using their planner, making a to-do list, writing down their assignments, whatever they need to do. Some students use their phones and a to-do app. Some people are using planners, whatever works. Studying a little bit every day, having a schedule and sticking to it, making sure that their backpacks are organized, wherever they're studying at home is organized and free of clutter, and making sure they're asking questions. We've seen a lot of students over the years who just hesitate to ask for help, and now's the time that we want to get them comfortable with doing that. So the help that's available, our Aviator Bell is 30 minutes every single day. It is time for students to have downtime, to relax, and to also work on homework. They can meet with teachers as long as they have a pass from the teacher they want to go see. They can meet with teachers during Aviator Bell every day if they want to. We also have after school help available in all academic subjects, Monday through Thursday. The main 4 core subjects are in the hub, and then global languages are in their classroom. Math is also available before school. So with all of these support options, we hope that we're making it as easy as possible for students to seek out help. There is also a handout that will link and was given out before of the specific schedule and the different schedule for languages, which will vary based on teachers and specific language. So the other thing, this was mainly a topic for first quarter, is talking to students about getting involved and the importance of that. How it's a great way to meet other students that share similar interests. It's an excellent way to explore interests, maybe careers, just to get different experiences under their belt. And getting involved can be all kinds of different things. Some students can't be involved during the school year because of transportation issues or other obligations that they have, but there's summer programs that they can do, or a camp, or part-time jobs, or volunteering. There's all kinds of great, amazing resources and options out there for ways for students to get involved and try different things. It is not too late at second quarter. I know we have some students that have asked about that. Students can get involved in clubs and activities any point in the year. So if they weren't quite sure and they were hesitant first quarter, then that's something they could do for second quarter. I think overall, I know I've been impressed with the ninth graders this year being involved in at least something. I think most of our students have chosen one thing or more to try and experience, whether it's a sport, a club, something like that.
So our next meetings that will be taking place third and fourth quarter are just kind of doing that future planning and thinking about what's happening next. So third quarter, like I mentioned earlier, scheduling for next year. Starting in January, right after break, we'll start talking about scheduling for the 2020-21 school year, and that will be your students' 10th grade year. So they will have a week long where they will have teacher recommendation week. Teachers will talk to them about classes in the core areas that they will recommend them for, and then also talking about elective options, career thoughts, different things that might interest students in taking specific courses or guide them on that path. Then in February or March, Megan and I will be meeting individually with students to review their course selections, review graduation requirements, where they stand, talk about career goals, and different courses of interest as well. In fourth quarter, we're going to be diving more into the career exploration, because leading into 10th grade, where we spend most of our time as school counselors in that career exploration world, fourth quarter we will be diving into overgrad. And students were introduced to this actually in 8th grade, and we are very encouraged that they remember that, so that's a great thing. You as a parent can also have an overgrad account, because it'll be linked to your student's account. It syncs with Google, so if you yourself have a Gmail account, you can easily go to overgrad.com, sign up, and then sign in with Google. Then you enter your student's Sycamore email address, and you can ask to be linked to their account. So the student must go into their account and accept you. We'll encourage them to do that. But that is how that piece works. So here's what Overgrad looks like. Very simple format to use, and it is also mobile friendly. So we'll have students review their career interest survey that's offered within Overgrad. As you can see from the example, it's very, very simple. And just to give them an idea, because the research has shown that career assessments are only as good as interests, and those change all the time. So retaking interest surveys kind of give them the opportunity to explore things as their interests change. So we have them just review their results that they may have done the survey in 10th grade or in 8th grade, and then we just have them take it if they haven't yet, or just review those results. So here's what a career list would look like. It gives them an idea. They can click on the name of the career. It will actually cater to the specific student. So the more information a student shares with Overgrad and puts in, and they have test scores and GPA, that sort of thing, when they click on a career, it will show them majors that link to that career, as well as 4-year or 2-year match institutions and educational paths that link directly to their scores and GPA, that sort of thing. So again, caters very much to the specific student. So this is a tool that we'll be using with them all 4 years, but diving more into here at the end of the school year.
So at this point in the presentation on Tuesday, we had a career specialist who works through the Great Oaks career campuses come and did a really nice presentation about the benefits of career exploration, not specific to Great Oaks, but just in general, and how families can help support their student through that process. So we are going to give her part of the presentation for her. The main thing is why do career exploration? It's important for students to know their different options, to think outside the box, to expand those horizons. Without those discussions, students might only think about what they have around them. They might only be aware of the careers that their parents have, or the standard careers that everyone usually talks about: a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, and so on. And there are so many different options out there that we want to make sure students know what's out there. It helps save time and money. While college is an amazing option for students, we also don't want them to do all of their career searching and exploration in college, because that's a very expensive way to explore careers. And in the end, it's all students are career bound. Everybody's going to have a career. So I know I personally would love to change the conversation from just what do you want to do in college to what do you want to do for work? What do you think you might want to do as a career? And then let's help build the plan for that. This next slide is a video. It's an 8-minute video. We are going to skip it for this, but we will link to the presentation. It's actually a great video just about the goal of career exploration. And I encourage you to go back and watch that, but we will skip it for time savings. So the goal of career planning, it's to simply link that academic knowledge to the real world experience to determine what a student wants to do. So it's what's your plan, what's your interest, what are the potential jobs that you can do with that interest, how do you prepare yourself for those potential jobs, and then what potentially is your career plan. We know many people don't end up in the career that they ultimately want right away, but what are the different steps and pathways to get there? So parents are a really important part of the career exploration piece. We want to make sure that families and students have roles to play in helping students choose their careers. And in the process of discovering what they want to do, who they want to be, what types of careers they want. And so it's important to be educated about the different options. So we would love to help, families know what's happening in the labor market. What decisions might students have to make? What are the various factors and the potential impact of choices that they make? How do students keep their options open? especially through high school. Let's explore a bunch of different options, whether it's through electives or summer programs or camps or jobs or whatever, so that they have some really great ideas of what they might want to do afterwards. And we want to talk about how do we get those new experiences, how to help when they come home and they have information about career advising or they've taken a survey, and how they can get additional information.
So one resource that's available that your students utilized in 5th, 6th, and 7th grade was Ohio Means Jobs. Ohio Means Jobs was created by the state of Ohio to help support schools in what's called the Career Connections Framework. So this framework is a guidance that was provided to K-12 schools so that we can use it to plan and implement different career exploration activities throughout the curriculum. So here is an example of what that looks like at each grade level, and then transitioning to Ohio Means Jobs, where you can explore different jobs. Even in the future, they can upload their resume and search for jobs and actually get linked to them as they are starting to explore career fields.
And Ohio Means Job is really great because it does have, it's a great resource in addition to Overgrad, because it also has not just the different career fields and potential salaries, but it also links it to what those would be in Ohio, which is really nice as well. So students can see what are specific current salaries in Ohio for someone that wants to be in engineering or in manufacturing or any different career that's out there. Or something like engineering. What are the different careers that someone could do that's interested in engineering? So those are two really nice resources that we have. So just here are some tips for building career awareness with your teen. What are some different things you can do at home, different conversations to have, and different things and skills to focus on. So this is another great video that we will skip for time savings. It's about a student who had one initial pathway, changed their plan, and the parent and how that parent kind of adapted to the student's goals for the student's success. So what can often happen without a plan? Students can start something and not finish it. We don't want students to go to college and then not finish because they don't know what they want to do, or perhaps find one college and realize it's not a fit and go somewhere else, or finish high school without a plan at all and then feel like they're not sure what to do, and we don't want them sitting at home all day not knowing what's next. So this is what we're trying to prevent. So because Sarah is from Great Oaks, she was also able to share some of the different things about Scarlet Oaks and Great Oaks campuses. Their programs are available to our students as juniors and seniors, and they do have open houses in January, which is a really great option for students who and families who want to explore different options and keep their mind open to go and see what's there, how they offer college credit, how they can offer industry certifications, how they can get a jump start to college if that's their goal. So most of the campuses have around the same time, but there are some adjustments. Scarlet Oaks is the closest one to us and where most of our students attend, if they do attend one of the Great Oaks campuses. Their open house is on January 30th and it starts at 5. And it's a really great way to just talk to all the instructors, see the labs. It's a really great facility, and our students that attend there really enjoy their time. So the other neat thing specifically for current 9th graders and current 8th graders is Great Oaks also offers career camps during the summer. They're week-long camps that are just $50 in June. And they're a way to explore any kind of career. So there are medical fields within the Great Oaks, there are law enforcement fields, there's cosmetology, there's all kinds of great things. And this is a short-term way for students to explore and get experience to one type of field or industry. So this could be another great option.
So the last piece that we'd like to review with you is just a testing overview of what that looks like for your student as a 9th grader and going forward. So in October, your student took the pre-ACT 8-9, which gives them an idea of what their ACT score would be if they were to take the official ACT at this time. Those score reports will be coming back in the beginning of December. Your student will be getting a paper copy in their Aviator Bell, as well as shown a little video explaining their scores. Megan and I will dive into those a little bit more with them in fourth quarter in our meetings, so that they have a good understanding of kind of where they stand. The thing about these score reports is that this will be mainly focused on their content knowledge through the 8th grade, because it was taken so early in the 9th grade. So know that there's a ton of growth that's happening with your student throughout this school year. Leading into 10th grade, where they'll be taking the PSAT or the ACT writing portion, and then they'll take another pre-ACT. So again, giving them that snapshot view as to what that will look like going forward for them. Also in the spring of this year, 10th grade and 11th grade, they'll be taking end of course exams that count toward graduation requirements. So you can see how this testing preparation kind of evolves, and that's purely for a college and career standpoint. Lastly, we just want to talk about what does it take for your child to graduate from Sycamore High School. So they kind of have 3 steps. The state of Ohio has once again changed the graduation requirements, and the 9th grade class of 2023 is the new graduation requirements that are coming for them. So as those are released and evolve, we will be sharing those with you. Good news, we have 4 years until they're going to get to where the rubber meets the road to actually graduate, but we have a pretty good idea of what those students need in order to graduate. The first thing will not change, our credit requirement, as you see listed here, and so part of that scheduling meeting that we'll be having with your students come February, we'll be reviewing these graduation requirements with them and kind of tracking them alongside them. The second portion, your students have to show competency. So they, at least in the Algebra 1 and English 2 end of course exams, they must earn a passing score. That passing score has not been defined by the state as of yet. If they do not show competency there are 3 options as alternatives. So some career-focused activities if they choose to enlist in the military, or they complete college coursework in English or math. But those are alternatives. So our goal is to have them earn that passing score in Algebra 1 and English 2. And lastly, they have to show readiness. So they have to earn 2 diploma seals. The readiness seals are listed here, and they have not been defined as of yet. So we will be, again, in touch and sharing that information as soon as we have those definitions. Students will take not only the English 2 and Algebra 1 end of course exams, but they will take 7 total. That is consistent with what is currently happening with high school students, because those other tests, aside from English 2 and Algebra 1, will play into the seals at some component. So that's why we have them continue to take all 7 tests, and it is valuable and important to their future. So again, we'll keep up to date with these as the state continues to release more information and communicate with you as soon as we have it. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we hope that you find this as a good reference point and helpful as we help your child through 9th grade and on into the future.